Good day, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I'm your host, the voice of reason. So, in the ongoing conflict inside of the former state of Ethiopia, incredibly heavy fighting continues. Both sides are at this time reporting uh, their share of success. So first, the Amhara region and its paramilitary and ENDF, Ethiopian National Defense Force allies, are claiming that they have made certain advances in the south, the southern front, really focused on the town of Debre Zabit. They are claiming that that town has fallen under their control. However, we at the Military and Foreign Affairs Network have not been able to confirm that. There also has been no shared video documentation of the sort. And again, depending on that type of video documentation, it has to be taken with a grain of salt, depending on the validity and where it's coming from. The Tigrayan Defense Forces are also reporting a fair share of success as well in terms of the ongoing conflict. They are reporting that the Ethiopian National Army, its allies in the Amhara militia, have taken rather significant battlefield casualties over the course of the last week. And as we know, there's been incredibly intensive fighting ranging south of Weldia in the vicinity and south of Mersa. We also know that there has been obviously incredibly significant engagements in the vicinity of Gashina, moving further west towards Debre Tabor. And again, the front lines are not uh, stable. The front lines would not be something that you would see in a more traditional conflict, such as say World War II. Right, those type of front lines simply don't exist. Uh, there are certain levels of front lines, but a free flowing front line where units man an entire front, we're not seeing exactly that yet. Could that occur farther down the road? Yeah, possibly. And we're starting to see at least where we're at right now, and in terms of conflicts they ebb and they flow. There's momentum swings either way, and what we're seeing right now is really a heavy and brutal fight that could lead to possible battlefield stagnation. And as both sides continue to take casualties, we are seeing the Ethiopian National Army, the Ethiopian Defense Forces, taking uh, more horrendous losses than the side of the Tigrayan Defense Forces to the north, and that is mainly because of the methodology in which they are deploying their forces. They're training their forces and sending them to these so-called front lines. What we're seeing in terms of what is causing these casualties and this lack of follow through in terms of battlefield successes on the part of the Amhara militias and the Ethiopian army is they're really taking a turn towards quantity and not quality. They are looking to recruit anyone and everybody basically with a beating heart that can possibly carry a rifle and deploy them to the front lines. And unfortunately, that is leading to some fairly significant losses. Now, with that being said, has that been done with some success in the past? Yes, it has. We have seen, for instance, during back to World War II, and even in some cases in World War I, where very untrained forces, such as the Russian army, was widely conscripted and put into battle, and eventually they did learn their skill sets on the field. but that was obviously very costly and at a tremendous loss for the Russian state, for the Soviet Union at the time. Are we going to see that same sort of methodology and operation with the Ethiopian army, with the Amhara militias? I don't think so. And the reason why I say that is the industrial capacity is simply not there. The benefit that the Soviet Union had in terms of recruiting these large, massive amounts of poorly trained conscripts was the fact that it had an industrial base to produce weapons of war. And currently, the Ethiopian state just doesn't have that. They have the ability to recruit personnel to be placed into harm's way, but really what we're seeing is the infrastructure that exists to train these soldiers to a level of proficiency or where they can operate effectively is simply currently not there. Now, again, that's not to say that these forces obtaining experience in the battlefield would not inherently get better, and we could see that occur at some point. But again, usually you see massive losses happen before that force starts to become better at its trade. But again, just really reports of vicious fighting. The Tigrayan Defense Forces are reporting that they have eliminated up to 12,000 Ethiopian army personnel and Amhara militia personnel along the southern front of operation, and that would include operations ranging from Weldia farther west to Debre Tabor, and then obviously north of Gondar in the Debark region as well. But right now, the fighting is really going to have to play itself out. Will it go into a stagnation phase because of the level of engagements that are occurring, where both forces become fatigued? It is possible that could happen. We could also see a complete possible collapse on one side, where it just doesn't have the capability to continue some of these defensive and limited offensive operations that are being undertaken. But we'll continue to monitor the situation and report as events warrant. Have a great day, everybody.